How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone's going good, doing well. Just chilling in the park again. Just thought I'd make another video for you guys. Yeah, just want to talk about the narcissist. See, the narcissist has a false self. They abandon who they truly are. They abandoned their true self when they were younger. So they just go through life now pretending to be someone they're not. They're just acting. They just take bits and pieces of people, and they're just like a concoction, or just like a mixture of just like all bits and pieces of things that they've seen on TV, or things that they've, personalities that they've seen on the internet, or interactions that they have with people. They just steal bits and pieces of personalities and just attach it to their mask. And so they just go through life, with these fake mannerisms and this fake personality, and they don't have an authentic identity. It's just all false. They're just like a hollow shell. They're just empty. They're empty inside. But when you first meet them, they give you this impression that they've got all this love and empathy, that they're this loving, kind, compassionate, caring, human being, this person that you want to spend time with because you think, wow, they're just like me, we connect really well, and they're so happy to be around you and spend time with you, and they're just in the love bombing. It's all about you. It's like they can't take their eyes off you. They just always want to be in your presence. They always want to be around you, going places, driving in the car, or just whatever, like having dinners, going to the parks, spending all this time together. And it's just like they're just trying to build this bond, but they can't bond with you. They can't pair bond with you. But they give you the impression that they've got all these characteristics and all that, they've got this awesome personality and stuff, but really they're just mirroring you. They're just copying you, and they're just reflecting it back to you. But they're just expert at doing this because they've been doing this all their life. They've been just pulling the wool over people's eyes all their life, since they were younger. So they've had heaps of practice at fooling people, and just being these covert actors, these reptilians, or they're just wearing a mask. They just wear all these different masks, and they have people in the harem garage. They always have people in the harem. They always have, their other supplies and things like that. And they're always looking for other supplies. They need supply, they need attention, validation, admiration. They want your empathy and your love, even though they can't, they can't love you back. It's just an illusion of love. It's fake love, fake empathy. They can't connect to you because they're disconnected from themselves. They're disconnected from their true self. So they can't pair bond. There's no love there. There's no empathy. It's like it's all going one way. It's like we're giving them the love, we're giving them the empathy, we're being there for them, we're pouring out our heart and our soul and our money. And everything's going one way. It's just like a one way. It's just all transactional with them. And like after the love bombing, it's like devaluation. So they've got you hook, line and sinker in the love bombing thing, thinking, you know, got you believing that this person's got all this love for you and wants the best and shares the same, you know, qualities or the same dreams, the same, you want the same things, you want that same future together. Because that's another thing, they'll future fake you. They'll say that, yeah, we're going to do all these wonderful things in the future. We're going to go overseas, or we're going to build a house, we're going to start a business, or we're going to be in, you know, doing something together, and oh, it's going to be so fantastic. And they just sell you this like this illusion of the future, but it's just all future faking. And you know, they're all like lovey-dovey in the beginning. It's all intimate. They're acting intimate, or they're acting like affectionate. They want to like wrap you up in their arms, and you know, they want to be close to you, and they want to be interested in what you're interested in. You know, it's like, you know, if you like art, then they like art, and if you like music, then they're into your music, and or if you like taking trips and like walking in the park, then they like taking trips and walking in the park as well. That type of thing. So they just mirror you in the beginning, have you thinking that they're your ideal partner, that they're some kind of soulmate, twin flame, you know, and say things like, oh, I never felt like this before with anyone else, or you're the love of my life, or, you know, you're my twin flame, my soulmate, you know, you're amazing, da 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 da. They just bigging you up in the beginning, just like buttering you up, just getting you hooked to this false character. And then before you know it, it's like devaluation. So they're just devaluing you, just putting you down, criticizing you on things, and it just comes out of left field. Like you're just like, where's all this coming from? Like you just can't believe some of the things that they're telling you. Like they start to just slowly change, and they just get worse and worse and worse and worse. But yeah, you know, if you didn't know about narcissism or about narcissistic abuse, you know, that's where they get in as well. You know, you find out about these things, about how they need supply, they need your attention, they need your eyes on them, you know, to big them up, to make them feel good, to make them feel like they exist. Because they don't feel like they exist if they don't have that attention, that validation, the admiration. You know, if they don't have, you know, you around them in their presence, and like it's like you validate them, you validate their existence. And if they don't have that, then they just feel like they don't exist, because they're operating from a false self, and they're not connected to that. So they just, you know, just a false self running around, not really connected to their true self. So they're not, they need you. It's like they live vicariously through you. They need your eyes on them. They need you to like give them feedback, you know, to tell them things, like to speak to them, you know, be in conversation with them, whatever it may be. But they can't give anything back. There's nothing authentic coming back from them. Like you think this is an authentic person that's got a personality and things like that, but it's just like you could have times where you're sitting there and you're thinking, why isn't there any like, you know, reciprocal kind of like deep conversation going on, or like could be philosophical, or even talking about just everyday things in that, but it's all surface. There's no depth of conversation. You know, it's like it's all about materialism, like materialistic things like money or clothes, or like where we're gonna eat, or You know, what are we going to have to eat? You know, what restaurant are we going to go to? But gradually, they start chipping away at you more and more. In the devaluation, they start to like, you know, gaslight more. Start to like, you know, with the gaslighting, it's like, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say we were going to go, you know, to this restaurant. I said we're going to go to that restaurant. So you start questioning your reality. You know, you start like, you know, doubting yourself and things like that. And this is what they want. You know, they want to have you like, yeah, just doubting yourself, and like, they just want to have you like confused. And like, they'll criticize you. You know, they'll shift blame onto you and things like, you know, if any little thing goes wrong, they'll just, you know, shift the blame onto you, even if it wasn't, you know, it wasn't even your fault. It's like their fault, but like, they'll just never take accountability for anything. They'll never accept the blame for anything. Like, you know, it's always point the finger. This is, you know, it's just everyone else's fault. It's never their fault. You know, because they've got to keep up this like phony facade, you know, that they're perfect, that they're the best thing since sliced bread, that they never make mistakes, that no, like it couldn't be me, you know. But inside they've got this shame, and they've just put up these, you know, protective and defense mechanism, this like, this wall. So they just have to be like projecting and deflecting. You know, you could hold them like, you know, try to make them accountable for something or question them about something, and they'll just, they'll divert the subject, or you know, they'll just deviate from it, you know, and just won't take accountability, and they'll just get angry. They'll like get, you know, they'll have like rage fits, and like, yeah, they'll gaslight and like indoctrinate you, like, you know, just having you thinking like completely like have you feeling like you're not even yourself. And it's like, you, over time, you just lose yourself more and more and more. It's like they give you this like narcissistic overlay. It's like they you know, they gaslight you so much and indoctrinate you and brainwash you, and like to the point where, you know, you're losing track on reality, and you're starting acting like you're not even acting yourself, like you're being someone else, and like you're catering to their needs more and more and more. And yeah, you just don't feel like yourself anymore. But like, you're just doing, you feel like you're doing what you're doing because you love this person, you want to help them, you want, you know, so you know, you're pretty much putting yourself, sacrificing yourself, putting yourself up on the altar for them, and yet they're still not happy. It's just they can never be happy, never be satiated. You know, they're just, because they got the void, because they're empty, and they just need your supply. They just need to keep you on that like hamster wheel, running around doing all these duties for them. And it's just so unbalanced, it's so uneven. There's no like give and take, there's no like, you know, understanding. Like, it's like you can't, you know, you can't just be yourself. You can't just like, okay, this isn't right, I need to be like, you know, coming back to like myself here. But it's like, you just, before you know it, you're sort of losing your mind, you're losing yourself, you're losing track on reality, what's important, and you're just sacrificing and handing more and more of yourself over, and just giving all this energy to this person. And they're just like parasites. They're just like draining your energy. They're just draining, like, you know, you're just feeling tired. You feel like sleep deprivation, like they're keeping you up at night, things like that. Or, you know, just stealing from you. It's like, you know, it just feels everything's unbalanced. It's like financial abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, like verbal abuse. you know, and it's just repetition of abuse. Like, you know, they'll repeat things over and over. They might, you know, they'll say things like, oh, you're crazy, you know, like, you're so crazy, like, why would you say that? And like, if they're continually, like, you know, repetitively saying things like that, you know, you start to doubt yourself. You think, hang on a minute, like, well, am I? Was I wrong there? And you start to question things, like, and because, and that's it, you start to question reality, and you start to, like, you know, just forget about yourself and what's important to you, because you're just helping this person so much, you're giving so much to this person, they're like just draining you, just taking your money, like, and, you know, guilt tripping you and saying, oh, why didn't you spend that money there, or why didn't you buy me this, why didn't you buy me that, you know, and like triangulating you and like comparing you to people, saying, well, you know, such and such, you know, they got the wonderful, you know, Range Rover and things like that. I think, you know, we should have one of those, you know, we should have the newest edition, you know, we should have, you know, the house, and we should have this. And they're always like making comparisons and things, and like putting you in the middle of things, like, and like they'll just, yeah, they'll triangulate you with people, just judging you, and you're sort of trying to get back, you're trying to get back to that person that they, you know, how it was in the beginning, but like that was just a false character, so that person doesn't even exist, the person that, you know, you fell in love with, and you just can't believe how this person's treating you and things like that. And like, you know, they could be like kicking you out, bringing you back in, or like, you know, pushing you away, you know, pulling you back in, take you on this emotional roller coaster, take you on these like extreme highs, and then dropping you low, and like giving you the silent treatment. And like, you want to communicate with them, because, you know, by now you're so trauma bonded, because you've been on this roller coaster, this emotional roller coaster, and you know, it's like you're addicted to them now. And like, you know, they're pulling away from you, and you're like running up to them, wanting to get closer to them. And it's just chaos. It's just absolute chaos. It's just, you know, you just feel like you're going to a really dark place. You feel alone. You always like, you know, even when you're sitting in the room with them, you still feel alone. You're still feeling like, you know, you're not connected to this person, because they're always like, oh, I've got to do something else. There's always something else that's like more important than you. Oh, I've got to fix something in the fridge. I've got to clean out a cupboard, or, you know, I've got to run some errand. I've got to like pick up some shopping. I've got to like buy some rice, or, you know, whatever it is, like, but they never actually like, they're never like concerned with what you're concerned about, like, and if they are, they're just like, you know, it's just all manipulation. They're never coming to the, you know, coming to your aid and stuff like that. It's like, you're looking for support, you're looking for someone to like give you, you know, some stability, or you're looking from your partner, you're looking for some stability, some like affection, some care, some love, you know, and it's like, it's not there. And like, yeah, you might get one day, or you might get 2 days, you know, that are okay. There's no abuse, no verbal abuse, or no, you know, any type of abuse. Everything's cool, like sunshine, everything's sweet, going to the park or going for a cruise somewhere, and you think, oh, this is great, this is fantastic, like everything's sweet. And then they'll just switch it up again. So they're just giving this high, low sort of, you know, and you emotionally, you're just like, you're all over the place, like your nervous system and that. It's just like, you start to feel like you're just walking on eggshells. Like, does this person care? Because you care so much, and you've got all this love pouring out, and you're like, you're hooked to this person, but like all of a sudden there's no love coming back. There's like, you know, it was like full on like, well, what you thought was love in the beginning, but then it just turns into this like, like the love is less and less and less. It's like they're taking it all away. It's like bait and then switch it up on you. And this is what they'll do as well. And they're just continually, doing this. They breadcrumb you along, like, if you're doing what makes them happy, whatever that may be, even though they can't really be happy, it's like they can never be satisfied. Like, it doesn't matter what you provide because this person's just empty, But even, you might get the good days and then they'll just take it away. They'll bait and switch, or the reward and punishment. Like, oh, if you did something that they were okay with, that they were cool with, then, oh yeah, they might be cool back to you. But it's like transactional. It's like, I don't know, it's just everything is just, it's just not coming from the heart from them. And you've got this empathy that's like trying to reach out to this person that just, you can't reach them. It's like, you're just doing everything in your power to like love this person and provide all this like, financial stability and like house and like cooking for them, cleaning for them, running all these errands and things, like going picking up some shopping. You're just doing everything in your power. You're like, you're putting clothes on their back, like you buy them clothes or shoes, and everything's just out. Like, it's just like give, and it's just so unbalanced, and it's just chaotic. Like, you just never feel like you've got your feet on the ground firmly, and you don't feel like there's a real vision in the relationship. Like, there's no building. It just feels like everything's just chaos. Like, everything's just, like it's just all over the place. You just never feel like there's stability in the relationship, because this person's good one day, and then for 2 weeks there's just verbal abuse, emotional abuse, just dragging you down, criticizing you, belittling you, shifting the blame onto you, guilt tripping you, brainwashing you more, gaslighting you more. And it's just, it's just making you feel, like not only you're losing your mind and things, and your nervous system's all like ripped up. You feel like emotionally butchered. You feel like emotionally crippled. And they'll have rage fits. They'll humiliate you in public. It's like you think it's going to be a good day, and just in a moment, just in a click, like they could just have an absolute rage like outburst, because you didn't do one thing like last week or something like that. It's like they're just keeping score. They just remember everything. It's like they're tallying everything together. Like, oh, you did this, he didn't do this, he did this, or, he didn't do this. They're just keeping record everything. And you're like, that was like 2 months ago, or like, I thought that was water under the bridge. But for them, it's like they don't forget anything. And they'll just hold everything against you. And if they can't find it, they always find something to hold against you. Even if you're like, you were the most perfect person, like even if you did everything absolutely in your power, in every way possible, they still find things. They have to provoke you, because that's how they get their narcissistic supply. It's like they want that negative supply. And they'll just like project onto you. They'll just project all this, rage, and project all this, toxicity within them onto you. But yeah, they're just envious. You find out this person's like nothing like they were in the beginning, and they're just jealous and envious. Because we can feel, or we can put our feet in other people's shoes. We can feel how other people feel. Like, we can connect to people like that, and we can empathize with people. But like, there's just a lot of people, obviously, like, they can't do that. They can't love. You know, they're incapable of love. You know, they've got the cognitive empathy and they can see when people are hurt and stuff like that. And they use that, you know, they're predatory. They use that against us. They weaponize our love against us. They weaponize our empathy against us. You know, and they see like love as a weakness. You know, and they also like, they associate like, you know, love with like avoidance, like they associate it with like abuse, like, you know, because they were abused when they were younger, you know. There's like multiple forms of abuse. So now they just want to like project that onto like, you know, their targets. And that's, you know, that's, you know, a bit of a nutshell. Just want to, yeah, of sort of how the narcissist is, but, you know, it just goes in stages. There's love bombing in the beginning, where they're all nice and sweet, gentle and kind, caring, considerate, but that's just a trap, just to trap you in, get you hooked, emotionally hooked. And then it's, you know, before you know, it's devaluation. It's just devaluing you, you know, trying to run you into the ground, trying to make you feel bad about, you know, something that you totally, you know, they're just projecting onto you. It's not even like truth. There's no truth. It's just, they're delusional. But they want to have you believe it. They want to like attack your self-esteem and bring you down. But it's just all false accusations. You know, it's pretty much, it's just trying to brainwash you, you know, with these false accusations against you. And yeah, they just repetitively do it and giving you the hot and cold just to get you hooked. Because they just want to keep you trapped in the narcissistic fog, or trapped in that, you know, that devaluation, like, you know, have you second guessing, have you doubting your reality and things like that. And then after the devaluation, when they've like completely obliterated your life and like stripped everything from you and like stole all your energy and like, you know, smeared your name, you know, yeah, just blame shifted you, guilt tripped you, you know, ran you, you know, absolutely, you know, destroyed you. You know, they just discard you, like, and then like, yeah, you're left to like pick up the pieces of your life and everything. You try to work out what happened to you, and you have to heal. So that the, you know, the relationship that you have to heal from, you know, you got to seek therapy, put all these pieces back, like, you know, do the research and like find out what, you know, narcissism is and what narcissistic abuse, like all the glossary, the terminology, you know, and yeah, like work out like what happened to you and things like that, because it's just so insane. Like these people are like insane, like they're psychotic. You know, and they're just so shifty, sneaky, like snaky, like. But that's how they, you know, that's how they creep into people's lives. That's how they like, yeah. They're just a false self. They're just running around, you know, with different masks to like, you know, trap other people. And they're just gone with the wind. Like, you know, they could be just like, you know, one person today and then another person tomorrow and then another person. Like, there's no stability. You know, and they've got to devalue you, destabilize you, dehumanize you. You know, and they're just jealous and envious. You know, that, you know, they haven't got the qualities that we've got. They haven't got the values we've got, the morals we've got. You know, they see how we can interact with people and like, you know, we've got this free flowing thing going on. Like they don't have that. Like they're just all over. all over the place. Like they just can't be. It's like they don't have peace, you know. So they can't just sit in a park like this and just chill and like just have a normal discussion. It's like, no, they've got to weave something into it all the time. There's always got to be some, like, create some kind of an argument. They've got to create some, you know, drama, chaos, some sort of dysfunction, because they're dysfunctional. You know, they've got to destabilize you, you know, to like stabilize themselves. But yeah, I thought I'd just make a quick video and hope everyone's doing well out there. I know I haven't been making many videos lately. I just, you know, need some time just to chill and just rebuild. But yeah, hope everyone's going awesome. Peace and love to everyone out there. Please like, share, subscribe, and talk again soon. Peace.